We have wonderful theatrical plays that come to the island of Maui, here in the islands of Hawaii. And you know what? One of them is about Pele. And whether you believe in Pele, whether you don't believe in Pele, there is a lot of stories, a lot of myths, and a lot of history about Pele. And we're going to talk to the director, Mr. John Watt. Aloha, John. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Tell me from your point of view about Pele, because we have viewers from all over the world who would like to know a little something about Pele.
Well, of course, everybody knows that Pele is the goddess of the volcano and fire, and but you don't always hear the history of her coming from Tahiti and running away from her sister, who's the ocean, and you know that kind of mirrors the great volcano and the ocean kind of combat going on. You know, the volcano is going on for like 25 years now, still,
Sure,
and making new land, and that's a lot of fun. And then there's a lot of interesting stories about her and the great pig god too, Kamapua'a. So that's a lot of fun. We have that in our first act. And then the second act is a lot of the love triangle between Pele and her sister Hi'iaka and the Kauai chief Lohiau. So that's kind of exciting as well.
Let me ask you something. Hawaiian history. You know, since we weren't around that far back, your personal feeling about Hawaiian history and how it applies to what's important to Hawaiian people today. You have any thought about that?
Well, you know, I'm really interested a lot in the literature, I guess. Actually, maybe orature, because it was all oral before. You
Right.
know? And there's so much that goes on in story that for a long time has been kind of fading away or lost because people don't tell these stories anymore. So it's wonderful for us to be able to tell these stories.
Correct.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much in these stories because it was an oral culture. Like a couple of our stories are about, you know, trees, bushes, and you get a botany lesson in the story. So that's kind of fun too.
You know, this play originates somewhere around Kauai, as you said, and you've got a wonderful cast. They work very hard, which is always nice when you factor in the fact that Polynesians in a Polynesian play may or may not have the opportunity to go to the mainland, but you know what? You're in the game. You're taking a great shot at it. As a director of this play, will you do some more of these theatrical type of things that have something to do with the Aina, with the people, with the culture of Hawaii?
Absolutely. I mean, the mission of Kumukahoa Theater is to do plays for, by, and about Hawaii's people. So we are always doing original work about Hawaii, and that's our mission. And you know, we don't do Broadway shows. We do Hawaii-based stories all the time. So that's what we do.
Honolulu actress Puamana Crab is playing Pele in a wonderful play. Aloha, Puamana.
Aloha, Branscombe.
Tell me about the efforts and your feelings about playing Pele in this wonderful play.
Well, I try to look at Pele as not only just, as you all well know, a goddess of Hawaii, but for this character role, Pele Ma, I actually went back and looked at several different actresses that I thought would portray her well, because she is, you know, she has a dark side, she has a diva side,
Right.
and she has a fashionable side. So, you know, I kind of drew on like Gloria Swanson, Elvira, and Cher to kind of put her all together and make her my own.
Getting off the idea that this is a play, legends of Pele within your own belief. Naturally, you and I have heard through the years that Pele kind of walks around. And tell me about your feelings about the reality of Pele being here in the Hawaiian Islands.
Well, you know, this is her home, so she can walk wherever she wants.
Yes.
And so it's for the people to know these stories. It's important for the children growing up, and of course, the people who have experienced her. It's important for them to tell them to, you know, the next generations. And no matter what anyone thinks, you know, she's alive and well, and you know, she wants to be remembered just like any other woman.
That's right, a woman scorned is not a nice thing to have, is
No,
it?
especially with Pele.
That's right, and when she's scorned, she lets her lava flow. A little more to Mr. John Watt. I see that you have a nose flute in your hand.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I'd love to just let our audience out there have a moment and have you play, and we'll kind of go out on that.
Okay.
Okay.